Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over should you have knee extension when you're sprinting, and we're going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab. Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become. All right, so this is a really interesting topic because I've had this conversation with a couple people that have left comments, and really the conversation goes around, do we want to actually have extension in the knees as we're going through our front side mechanics, right? So we have Usain Bolt here on the left, we have Noah Lyles here on the right, and really, at the end of the day, there's not a question of if you actually do get knee extension, right? We see knee extension with Noah Lyles. We see knee extension with Usain Bolt. So it just ends up being, is it passive knee extension or is it active knee extension? The difference is passive is something that naturally happens from, it's a movement that will occur that is not controlled by your body, right? While active is something that is something you were trying to actually do. Okay, so the question ends up becoming, is this extension that is happening within the knee something that they are actually doing themselves? And that ends up being a very, very difficult question to kind of answer, but I do want to go over, right, what ends up being a necessary part of the action to make sure that you're able to get into this position. Because for me personally, I feel like every single thing that I do when I'm sprinting, I'm trying to control it. Right? I want to be able to have complete control of my body. And I think a lot of the top athletes are doing that too. I can't imagine, Noah Lyles getting knee extension here on accident, right? I think that he's really trying to force that extension in the leg to help him maintain that upright position. But, I think there's arguments being made that what they're actually doing is reaching down with the leg and pulling that foot across or behind, and because of that, that's how they end up getting the same result essentially. So instead of you actually thinking about extending the leg here and pulling that leg back underneath, instead thinking about driving that foot backwards, and because you're driving that foot backwards, that's what causes the knee extension, right? And that could be the case. You could just be somebody that wants to really focus on pulling that foot backwards. Okay, and because you're pulling that foot backwards, that's what's causing you to get the knee extension. Again, for me, I really try to reach out with my feet to make it so I'm able to get to that position right there, boom. And then as that's happening, I pull that leg back underneath me. But that's what works for me. It's going to be different for everybody. Now, there's no question that you do want to be getting knee extension before foot contact, right? So you can see he's getting into full extension within the leg before foot contact, and the better you can actually achieve extension, I found, the better you're going to be in terms of your top end speed, right? So most people struggle in being able to get that knee extension within the leg and then be able to pull that foot back behind, but the guys that are able to compete at the highest level seem to be able to do that very, very well, seem to be able to create that knee extension before foot contact and then pull that leg back underneath, and then while you land, you want to be able to maintain as much of a knee extended position as possible. You're going to end up going through some degree of knee bend, right, to be able to decelerate, but the more knee bend you get, the worse off you're going to be. You want to be able to create more extension all the way through the movement, because then you can maintain higher posture, then you're able to better decelerate within the lower body or within the foot, which makes it so then you can transition off of that foot faster. So everything ends up being a lot better when you can maintain that knee extension a little bit better with those front side mechanics and with your landing. Again, obviously you're not going to be able to perfectly maintain it, but you can see how well Noah Lyles transitions off, Usain Bolt transitions off, and it's because of the ability to really decelerate well with their bodies. But there's an extension right here before that foot hits the ground, right? That is a necessary part of your sprinting, and you absolutely want to be able to build that in, and you have to be able to have great deceleration mechanics to make it so when your foot lands, you just are able to minimize the knee bend the best that you can. To your best ability, because that's going to end up happening no matter what. You're going to end up having some degree of knee bend, but the better you could have that foot right underneath the hip, the better off you're going to be. Again, it's hard to really get it right underneath the hip, but the closer you can to right underneath the hip during that landing, it's going to make it so you can propel yourself off faster and also generate more force into the ground, which are both obviously super important when it comes to sprinting and running fast. So as always, if you like the information, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, we'd be happy to answer those down below. And check out some of the things that we got within our speed. I think the speed breakdowns are the best just because it really gives us the opportunity to look at the mechanics and see how can we improve your start? How can we improve your drive? How can we improve your top end speed? What are some drills? What are some exercises? What are some concepts to be applying in your actual training to make it so you can really take your game to a whole nother level? And that's what we want to continue to do for you guys, is just help you get to the next level. We do have speed programs. We do have a lot of options for you, but really going deep into your mechanics ends up being a big thing to really make sure that you're able to get from, one to higher and higher and higher levels. So thanks again for watching. Go ahead and click that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon.